and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Project Egg Show. I'm your host, Ben Gothard, and today we have the honor of speaking with Mila DeChant. How you doing today, Mila?
Doing brilliantly, Ben, and thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. I truly appreciate that.
Well, thank you for having a really awesome last name. That's we were talking a little bit about it before, and I just love hearing those kinds of stories about about names and where everything comes from. So
Right. So let me share a quick funny story as we were speaking just now about my surname, right? So it's pronounced as DeChant. And I've had this happen to me so many times. And I was actually at Panera's just now ordering food, and I saw my food ready at the counter, and the server, bless his heart, took the packet, took the receipt, and I saw it was my name. And he looked around, he looked past me and looked at a Caucasian lady and approached her and said, "Oh, ma'am, this is your order." And the lady was like, "Oh, this is not me." So I waited for 5 more minutes just to see if he would call out the name. And then he finally called out the name. And I approached him and I said, "Oh, that's my order." And he said, "Are you sure?" It's like, I'm like, oh, I'm absolutely sure it's my name and absolutely sure what I'm called. But it's funny, not funny as in ha ha, you do not know any role, but it's funny because it has happened to me so many times. But it's interesting how we just have this preconceived notion or knowledge that how to relate in a names with a particular type of stereotypical look or stereotype of a person or a situation. And it happens to me all the time. So it's like I've been married for 16 years. So it has happened to me for 16 years. So I just laugh about it.
Well, my last name is Gothard, and people mess my last name up all the time. And, I always think it's really funny talking about last names. I always love to share this with people. But I get Gothard and Goche, and my dad one time, he actually had somebody call him goat herder one time.
Oh
I
my.
was like, where do you even get that from? It's not even close. So I thought that
No.
was
Oh my
funny.
God. It's
But
that. And speaking of names, right? It's in different parts of the world because I've had the humble opportunity to be in different parts of the world, but it's interesting how so quickly people are to make fun of a name, right? And I feel sometimes it's out of innocence, sometimes it's not out of innocence. I used to have this friend from Pakistan, and his name was Ali. And rather than calling Ali, we have had some common friends would call him Tebin, or just like really bad slurs. And I call it slurs because it's disrespectful, and it kind of dehumanizes someone because your name is very, very true to you, right? Even if it's given by your parents, or even if you decide to choose or later in life to switch it, it's true to you. It is your identity. When you disrespect that name, I feel like it dehumanizes someone where you're not giving that respect on that.
I agree. I agree. So, I wanna shift gears a little bit because I'm really curious to learn. What is your story?
Oh man, it's a long story, but I will share my story. So, well, it's when we talk about adversities, right? People often think that you need to have a really fantastic, a really brilliant story to share only if you are an influencer or if you are a celebrity, right? But I feel that everyone is an influencer based on the stories that they have experienced and they carry. So my story started years ago, right? So since the age of 10, I was actually bullied as a child from the ages of 9 to 12. And when I say bullied, it was just not a singular length of bullying. I was bullied by my teacher, I was bullied by my friends. And how I was bullied by my teacher was a very dehumanizing act because I was not a very fast learner. I was labeled as the stupid child. And I was not only labeled as the stupid child, I was actually physically put in a group at the back of a class by my teacher. And she named that group Stupid Group. And she announced to the whole class, Mila belongs in that group way at the back of the class. So can you imagine in front of a class of 40 mates and your teacher saying that, and defaming your character, shaming your intelligence, shaming your ability to learn or your ability to become? It kind of corroded my confidence. And that was not the only thing that she did to me, which I felt that which was abusive. She physically abused me, where she would slap me every single day. She would slap me every single day. She would pull my hair. She would grab my hair. She would pull it and slam it against the wall. And at the age of all the way from 9 to 12, and experiencing that made me believe that I was truly stupid. I was incapable of anything. And this became normalized, right? Because her actions made it normal, where she could bully someone, and she bullied me. She took me as a target because I was really a slow learner, and she would call me names like, you're stupid, you will not amount to anything, you'll be a rubbish person, or you'll pick up people's rubbish when you grow up, that's your career. And I believed that, because that, whatever had experienced, that experience shaped my reality, shaped my idea of what I should be. It shaped my identity. And during that phase of ages from 9 to 12, I had this fear, this paralyzing fear, where I could not speak up, because that fear dehumanized me to a point where it corroded my identity, it corroded my confidence, and eliminated my voice. I was so afraid to speak up, because when someone calls you stupid every day, or beats you every day, or just dismisses you as a human, it affects you at a very nuanced and deep level. And that carried on throughout my teenage years. That confidence was broken and it was hard to build back. And during my teenage years, I carried that baggage along with me, but it manifested and morphed in a different form, right? I became a teenager. I had really good mentors. I really had good teachers. And that was the time where I really realized that what I was good in. And I realized how I learned and how I excelled. And I excelled well in maths and chemistry and physics. And I excelled well in arts. It's such a weird combination, right? Math, science, and then dancing. It's such a polarizing thing. And I excelled well in it. But that harsh reality that I experienced from the ages of 9 to 12 shaped and really kind of ingrained that self-doubt in me. And I carried it everywhere I went, but it manifested in the form of image, self-image, how I saw myself. And that led me to become bulimic from the ages of 16 all the way to 21. And I hated, I absolutely hated how or whom I had become, because always along the journey, I continuously doubted my confidence, continuously doubted my identity, and that weird voice from my teacher that you're not good enough, you're stupid, you'll never become anyone, surfaced every time I had an opportunity to shine, right? And every time I would hear, oh, your idea is stupid, or this is not a good idea. And that voice would come up again, reminding me, yes, Mila, you're not good enough.